move on now to topic number 2. This comes from Tyson Uman. Greetings and salutations. The hype coming out of Cinemacon, including from you guys, for Lightyear was incredible. Now the official reviews are coming, and while they are very good, they're not quite Oscar contender worthy. As of this moment that I'm writing this, the movie has an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like I said, that's very good. What do you think about the reviews we're getting for Lightyear? Well, thank you so much for writing that in, Tyson. We appreciate it. I'm honestly shocked that we're sitting at an 80%.
I am too.
Right, because we all walked out of this film, and everyone's going to have their own opinions, but we walked out of the first 30 minutes of this just buzzing about Lightyear. We were so hyped about this.
Yeah.
It's incredible sci-fi. It's Pixar, who I think you should always bet on. And one of the things I'm kind of thinking here, Rob, and I know I'm biased because I love animation. I come from that world. I'm wondering if critics are also just really viewing this as a kid's movie, as yet another animated feature, and not giving it the sci-fi kind of bang it should be getting and the praise it should be getting.
I think you're absolutely onto something. I think you're 100% correct. You know, I read a lot of reviews that had come out, and I found them perplexing because a lot of them were referring to it as being part of the Toy Story franchise and comparing and contrasting it. And I'm like, I thought that was an odd way to go because I think it's Toy Story adjacent, obviously.
Yeah.
But I watched this film, when I sat down and watched it, I'm like, okay, it says in the beginning that this is the movie that these toys come from. So that would be like saying, you know, if you've been watching the wacky animated antics of R2 and 3PO, you know, with their amazing animated friends, and then you actually sat down and watched Star Wars, it would be a very different experience. And I was totally enchanted by this. I was looking at it not as something that was part of the Toy Story franchise, but was Toy Story adjacent. And the film, to me, I wasn't even thinking about Toy Story when I was watching it. I was watching a new science fiction film, and that's how I was looking at it, from the design sensibilities to the acting to the story that was unfolding. I thought this movie was great.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, 25 minutes in, I had an emotional, like you did too. We had this, we're like bawling, and
You were sobbing.
I'm wondering what the mindset is. And maybe, look, we haven't seen the last hour.
This is very true.
So it could be a very different experience because all we had was what the first half an hour,
part.
and the rest of it might have sort of maybe petered out. But I do find the whole idea of this as not being as worthy as now I want to go see it more than ever, if that makes any sense, because I want to confirm that I'm not wrong. I feel like someone's thrown a gauntlet down and they said, well, you guys, you didn't know.
Yeah.
Because usually I consider myself a pretty good indicator. Sometimes I'm wrong, but for the most part, I'd say I'm pretty good about these kinds of things, knowing I said Top Gun Maverick was going to gross $100 million way early on this year. But this perplexed me. And the responses are not what I had hoped they would be.
Well, and I think what's so interesting, too, here is obviously sometimes on this show, it can feel like a little bit of an echo chamber. A lot of us have similar tastes in certain genres, right?
And when we see things together.
Yeah, there's that communal experience of seeing a film. But a lot of times, too, though, Ray, you and I don't always agree on movies. No. And I know you were thinking you didn't maybe want to finish this because of how emotional it was, but you had a really strong reaction, too.
Well, yeah, because like I've said before, I haven't been a Pixar guy for a long time. I mean, I liked WALL-E, haven't seen any of the other Toy Stories. It's just like, I don't know, maybe I just got out of that. But what we saw was really good. And it just brings up, John would mention that he thought it would be maybe award worthy. And so now we really know why he's not here today. That's the real reason he's not here today, right, John?
Oh man, you can't
reviews,
be that wrong,
baby.
Now we know we've gotten to the truth.
I love kicking him when he's down. Just kidding.
Well, but I do,
brother-in-law love.
I do think it's interesting because they have no, I don't think I read any reviews that were as enthusiastic as we were, and not just us, but the whole audience that was at Cinemacon.
You could hear everyone else with the sniffies.
Yes, you could.
We were all trying to man tears that of. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just going to cry into my hand and have it pour into my mouth.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
Yeah.
I am curious because, I mean, I dearly love what we saw.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
So-
and jury's out till we get to actually see the completed film, like you were saying. But guys, the question's up for you. What do you think about this score? 80%. It's still not bad in Rotten Tomatoes rating scores, right? But given all the hype around it, do you think that's just? Do you think maybe there's something else going on? Or does everything just go to hell in a handbasket in Acts 2 and 3?
Huskbasket.
Huskbasket. I talk for a
Baskin.
living.
I love
Should have done
that.
tongue twisters this morning. You let us know what you think in the comments down below. Thanks so much.
Guys, we want to take just a minute and thank the sponsor of this video, Masterclass. Masterclass is offering classes on a wide variety of topics, like all taught by world-class masters at the absolute tops of their field. Each class is broken down out into individual video lessons, usually like around 10 minutes or so long, and members can explore at their own pace. And each class is supported by downloadable materials, lessons, recipes, or more that you can all find at masterclass.com. For example, are you into streaming? Well, you can take the Building Your Streaming class taught by ninjas so you can sharpen up on your streaming skills. Or if you're interested in independent filmmaking, take independent filmmaking from Academy Award winner Spike Lee. You want to get classes on how to direct? How about from Ron Howard? The very first one I personally looked up and got into was Business Leadership by the great Big Papa Iger, Bob Iger himself. And I was absolutely enthralled with it. I love every single minute of this stuff. If any of those apply to you, you need to try Masterclass. So I highly recommend that you check it out. Get unlimited access to every Masterclass. And as a John Campea Show viewer, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea. Once again, to get 15% off your annual membership, go to masterclass.com/Campea.